Urgent Raiders fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Raiders' true feelings on Ashton Jeanty leak. Ahead of NFL draft, the Las Vegas Raiders have been linked to Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty for a while, and that's not changing with the 2025 NFL draft approaching. The team hasn't done much to address their running back need this offseason. The Raiders had the worst running game in the NFL in 2024. Running back is arguably their biggest need. Jeanty is coming off one of the greatest seasons for a running back in college football history and is among the best prospects at the position in years. A running back hasn't been taken in the top 6 since 2018. The Raiders hold the number 6 pick in the draft and the most logical spot for Jeanty. According to Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz, there are plenty of fans of Jeanty in Las Vegas. Ashton Jeanty at pick 6, to me, out of every pick here might just be my favorite because we talk so much about Pete Carroll and Marshawn Lynch, Schultz said on The Herd. Now, I don't know if Pete and that organization ultimately want to go running back at 6, but there is a big contingency within the Raiders building that really likes Jeanty. If you really want to build this offense the way that Pete Carroll has had a great offense, it's around the running game and play action. They just gave Geno Smith an extension. You bring in Ashton Jeanty, I think it's a home run. Jeanty, a superstar in the making. It's always risky to take a running back in the first round, especially in a deep class. The Raiders could likely find a starting running back in the second or third round of this draft. However, Jeanty isn't just a good running back. According to Schultz, some people around the league think he's a truly special talent. I had a GM tell me a couple days ago that Ashton Jeanty is being slept on, Schultz said. I said, what do you mean? He's going to be a top 5, top 10 pick. He said, no. You don't understand. This guy is a superstar. People are talking about him like he's a good player, maybe a great player. He is a day one 1,500-yard guy. Jeanty is a fan of Geno Smith. Jeanty has heard the noise that the Raiders could be the team that drafts him. He'd be excited about the pairing. Part of that is thanks to quarterback Geno Smith. He thinks highly of the veteran quarterback. I didn't really get to chop it up with Smith, but I met for the first time in person on my visit, Jeanty told Athlon Sports. Obviously, getting a chance later in his career has been working well for him. I like what he did with the Seahawks. Obviously, he's rocking with Pete Carroll. I think he's a great player. If I were to play with him, he'd be a great quarterback to have. There's a good chance that Jeanty will be taking handoffs from Smith for the next couple of years. That could end up being a prolific pairing for Las Vegas. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Raider Nation news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Raiders floated as trade fit for award-winning former Davante Adams teammate. One of the biggest moves to happen during the 2024 regular season was the Las Vegas Raiders trading wide receiver Davante Adams to the New York Jets. The deal ended up being a disaster for the Jets, and the Raiders have yet to find a new number 1 wide receiver. New York is undergoing some major changes under new head coach Aaron Glenn. It's possible that he might want to move on from some star players to add draft picks. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson would be one of their most valuable assets. The former Offensive Rookie of the Year has broken 1,000 receiving yards in each of his 3 seasons and is still under contract for 2 more years. He'd be a valuable trade piece for the Jets, and Christopher Knox of Bleacher Report believes the Raiders would be one of the best fits for him. Still only 24, Wilson has already produced 3 1,000-yard campaigns, Knox wrote. He also played with Fields in college, which increases his value to the Jets. A late 2025 first-round pick would likely be the minimum asking price, and the Jets would probably want even more if dealing in 2026 draft capital. Wilson, however, would be a prime target for caprice receiver-needy teams like the Las Vegas Raiders and Tennessee Titans. Knox noted that the price for Wilson would likely be a first-round pick or more. Giving up the number 6 pick for a wide receiver who needs a new contract is a steep price, but their 2026 first-round pick could be expendable. 6 standout prospects Raiders must consider on day 2 of NFL draft. With all the speculation about the first-round pick, day 2 will be just as important to the roster construction of the 2025 Las Vegas Raiders. There will be plenty of prospects who are first-round worthy that should still be on the board come Friday night. I've sorted through the list of names who the Las Vegas Raiders could target with their second and third round choices. Prospects the Raiders could take on day 2 of the NFL Draft. Quinn Ewers, QB, Texas. It's no secret that the Raiders have a flirtation with Ewers. They have worked him out and could even trade Aiden O'Connell to open the door for Ewers to become the instant backup. Ewers had a wealth of weapons around him and he used them all. He's got a load of playoff experience and played admirably against the SEC's top contenders. The 5-star arrived on the scene with a statement win at Alabama in 2023. A year later, he took Texas to the cusp of winning college football's premier conference and a national championship. He was able to hold off Archie Manning to keep his job. Wyatt Milam, OL, West Virginia. The left tackle who is slotted to kick inside was one of the nation's best run blockers in 2024. He was so exceptional that he earned the honor of winning the Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year. You can notice how dominant he can be because of his imposing size. He held Abdul Carter to a sackless performance in the season opener. Perhaps the Raiders gauge their interest in tackles now with the pending Colton Miller development. Trey Harris, WR, Mississippi Harris, looks a little like another Ole Miss receiver. In A.J. Brown, he's a deep threat that the Raiders are currently lacking on the outside. Most of his routes were considered as hitch routes. Harris was at the top of his game in single coverage. He's been steady over the last 3 years, even with missing time in 2024. He averaged around 16 or 17 yards a catch over the last 3 years of his collegiate career. Double-teaming Bowers would benefit Harris in Chip Kelly's scheme. Quinshon Judkins, RB, Ohio State, the national championship running back, had a very productive 3-year span in college. It may not look like it, but if you caught a glimpse of Judkins at Ohio State's Pro Day, you can see he already has an NFL-caliber body to utilize. Judkins is a Day 1 starter in Chip Kelly's offense. Quinshon Judkins in the Natty 9. 1 yards per. Carry 121, total yards 3 TDs, accomplishing this off just 13 touches makes it even more impressive. Reminder, age 21, size 60, 2-on-20 Libias. You better believe that Quinshon Judkins' NFL draft stock just rose tremendously. Pick.twitter.com AZO1JLMH4W6 Austin Abbott. Austin Abbott FF, January 22, 2025. Depending on who you ask, Judkins should be a better prospect than his running mate, Tre'Veyon Henderson. Judkins is a threat to take it the distance on any down. He did it in the SEC and Big Ten, too. It's hard to imagine him not succeeding at the next level. Benjamin Morrison, CB, Notre Dame, without the injury. Morrison should be in the conversation for being a top 10 pick and maybe the no.1 corner on the board. He picked off Caleb Williams in 2023 and helped hold Marvin Harrison Jr. to 3 catches in the same season. In the 2022 meeting with the Buckeyes, he did his part to make Jackson Smith-Njigba meaningless. Morrison is gaining some traction to get selected on night 1, but he'd be a home run choice if he slides to the second round. Walter Nolan, DT, Mississippi. The no.1 recruit in the 2022 class. Nolan is bound to hear his name called on Thursday. However, some mocks don't have him going in round 1, so let's assume he's still on the board for Friday night and falls for some unknown reason. Pairing him with Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby would be unfair to opposing offensive lines. With all the talent Lane Kiffin had in Oxford, you gotta wonder how they didn't make the playoffs. The draft boards are littered with Ole Miss players, and Nolan could be the first Rebel taken. And now, Raiders fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Raiders. It'll be back any moment with more Raider Nation news.